Hello and welcome to GFN Soul NYC and Real Life TV Now. I'm Robert Ashley, and we thank you for being with us for another edition of the Robert Ashley Show. Now, what we do here once again is news and commentary, and we continue to thank God for giving us well over 35 years, close to 40 years of broadcast journalism throughout our career. After graduating from Grambling State University, we spent a lot of our time in Shreveport, Louisiana, and right here in the state of Texas. And I'm honored to have been able to work nationally and internationally with various television stations and many networks. But once again, we're here on GFN Soul NYC and Real Life TV Now, where we're focusing on the best in throwback music, R&B there if you will. Each and every night, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, we encourage you to tune in and be sure to be serenaded by our colleague Dwayne G. as we're shouting out to all of our friends in the Sugar Hill neighborhood of New York City and also the 5 boroughs there in New York. Got a lot of friends up there in Harlem, Staten Island, and very many places there in New York. And once again, we are certainly honored to hear from many of you through our social media platforms. And once again, what we do here, news and commentary. Well, today we want to speak on a situation involving our black women. Now, I'm not a racist. I'm married to a black woman. My mother's a black woman. And even in my family, now, there's some interracial marriages in my family. 2 of my cousins there, if you will, both men, both married white women in our family. So we're kind of interracial, originally from the Louisiana area. And if you know anything about New Orleans, Louisiana, just North Louisiana, we're kind of like a racial melting pot there in the state of Louisiana. But today, I'm concerned about black women who have power. Now, take, for example, we have President Trump, who is in office right now. And President Trump defeated Kamala Harris. President Trump got about 75 million votes. Kamala Harris got about maybe, 69 to 70, possibly 71 million votes herself, meaning that she was beaten by Trump, but, just by a couple of million votes there, if you will. And now our concern is our black women who have leadership positions. We're really concerned now that there are investigations that have been launched against Letitia James, a black woman who is the Attorney General in the state of New York. We also are concerned about our own Congresswoman right here in Dallas, Texas. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, also under investigation. And of course, we want to mention Fani Willis, the black woman who was recently reelected as district attorney in Fulton County there in Atlanta, Georgia. And it seems like all 3 of these black women have one thing in common, and that is current President Donald Trump. Letitia James, the Attorney General there of the state of New York, went after Mr. Trump, alleging that he had engaged in inflating the value of his property. As a matter of fact, she forced him to put up almost $500 million. That's still hanging in the balance right now. The president, of course, was convicted there in New York City, and he is appealing that given case. We also have the district attorney there in Atlanta, Fulton County, Fani Willis, who reportedly was going after President Trump for all sorts of campaign violations and RICO allegations, things of that sort, only to find out that she was embarrassed and her credibility pretty much taken down as a result of being involved with a young man, her so-called alleged lover or boyfriend, whatever you want to call this young man, who had been assigned to do the prosecution of President Trump, even though he was not really qualified and was making a lot of money there in Fulton County. And of course, this has led to Fani Willis possibly losing credibility, and you just never know what the state of Georgia will do with regards to possibly removing her as the duly elected district attorney there in Fulton County. And then right here in Dallas, Texas, we have our own Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who is now under investigation by the Federal Elections Commission. And the real tragic thing about this given situation here is that when you're talking about campaign contributions and an organization called Act Blue. Now, Act Blue reportedly is an organization that helps Democrats raise money. And the big question surrounding our Congresswoman in the Congressional District 30 right here in Dallas, Texas is if somebody contributes to your campaign, shouldn't that person know if they contributed to the campaign? Now, of course, she's going to be facing a Republican, an African-American man in the very near future, maybe in 2026. And he supposedly is documenting allegations that some of the money that was raised through Act Blue may have come from people who allegedly didn't know if they were making those contributions to the campaign coffers of Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Now, this whole situation back during the Biden administration was in the news, but the Attorney General Merrick Garland was not the kind of Attorney General that seemingly cared about the law without a blindfold on it. He seemed like he only went after a lot of Democrats and went after a lot of Republicans, I should say. And a lot of the allegations surrounding Democrats, some of them were investigated, maybe some of them weren't. But Act Blue, they have long been accused of doing something politically, what could be considered political hanky-panky when it comes down to campaign contributions. Now, if I made a contribution to somebody in the tune of $16,000, shouldn't I know that? Shouldn't I have a record of that? But Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who has been a really big complainer about the Trump administration and has been really engaged in a lot of verbal battles with fellow members of Congress, is now under investigation by the Federal Elections Commission. They were investigating some of the campaign contributions. As a matter of fact, Act Blue, which is an organization that's also being investigated, supposedly, reportedly, to the tune of maybe $870,000 allegedly, went into the campaign coffers of Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, allegedly directly or indirectly through Act Blue. And those type of investigations are underway right now. So you have Letitia James, who is the Attorney General of New York City. She's under investigation, and there has been a criminal referral to the Justice Department, where Pam Bundy is the new Attorney General. There's been a criminal referral of an investigation regarding the Attorney General there in New York City, Letitia James. All of these are black women. All of them have been very, very vocal in terms of their opposition to President Donald Trump. And you might say, well, is the Trump administration playing tit for tat? Based upon the investigation surrounding Mr. Trump before he was elected president, and even now that he is president, there have been a lot of people who've been calling for him to be impeached if indeed the Democrats somehow or another get back control of the House during the midterm elections. We just don't know. But we just want to send out a warning to black women in particular, those of you who are very virulent with your complaints about the Trump administration. Be careful. You can't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And as a journalist, some say, well, let the chips fall where they may, but I hate to see the Attorney General Letitia James under investigation. Fannie Willis, the district attorney there in Fulton County, Georgia. I hate to see all these type of investigations. And of course, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett right here in Congressional District 30. We hate to see this type of investigation, but the big question is, did you do anything wrong? Are you living above reproach? Are you throwing stones while you're living in a glass house? But as it stands right now, you're innocent in America until proven guilty. But if you are a black woman with any kind of power, be careful. Don't let your sins find you out.
The Trump administration now going after New York Attorney General Letitia James. She sued Trump over real estate fraud, and now the feds say she may have falsified mortgage documents. We start there at 6. I'm David Usher.
I'm Natalie Pascarella. The Trump administration has now asked the Justice Department to consider criminal charges against James.
Our chief investigative reporter, Jonathan Dietz, live with the details. Jonathan?
David, Natalie, the Trump Justice Department says it is now deciding whether to investigate State Attorney General James for possible mortgage fraud. The issues focus mainly on 2 properties, one here in New York, the other in Virginia. James denies wrongdoing. She says the Trump administration is weaponizing the federal government and is now wrongly trying to bully her. This Norfolk, Virginia home is co-owned by Attorney General Letitia James. That, according to records that appear to show she may have claimed that house as her principal residence. The Federal Housing Finance Agency director, who previously was a Trump fundraiser, sent a criminal referral to the Justice Department calling for a mortgage fraud investigation into James, alleging she appears to have falsified records to receive favorable loan terms. Sam Antar, an accountant by training and past convicted felon, first raised questions about James's property-related records.
If she did actually use it as a primary residence, she'd be disqualified automatically as the Attorney General. If she didn't actually use it as a primary residence, she would be committing mortgage fraud. So take one or the other.
Late this afternoon, James's office said the co-owner, her niece, used the Virginia home as her primary residence. Questions also raised about James's Brooklyn home. 2001 city records show it was a 5-family dwelling, which experts say would require a commercial property loan with perhaps higher interest rates. But James allegedly listed it as a 4-family unit. A James spokesperson would not say if any units have since been combined, as a property of 4 can be backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, often qualifying for better interest rates and a lower down payment. James's office says since she has owned the Brooklyn building, it has always been a 4-residence home. A spokesman for James today said the Trump administration weaponizes the federal government against the rule of law and the Constitution. She will not be intimidated by bullies, no matter who they are. In Washington, Attorney General Pam Bondi was asked on Fox about the criminal referral.
Of course, we'll be reviewing it.
State Attorney General James won a civil case against Donald Trump and his organization for fraud, and he's appealing the nearly $500 million in fines. Veteran white-collar crime attorney Brad Simon says he has questions about the seriousness of and the motive behind the criminal referral.
And we welcome you back to the Robert Ashley Show right here on GFN Soul NYC FM and Real Life TV Now. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our channel, hit that notification bell so you'll know when we're dropping a new project. But as far as these black women who are in power, look, you were placed in power because people had faith in you. You supposedly had the credibility to do exactly what you're doing. But if you get up there and you stumble and you put your foot in your own mouth and you do something idiotic, look, don't blame anybody but yourself. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. And if you're guilty, go ahead and confess your guilt. Get it behind you so that you can be the kind of person that you need to be. But once again, you're innocent until proven guilty. Now, there are a lot of people who believe that the district attorney there in New York City, Letitia James, the district attorney in Fulton County, Fannie Willis, and Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, there are people who believe that they're being targeted, being singled out because of their criticism and their loud vocalization against the Trump administration. But the question is, could that be true, or really is there something there? Did Letitia James engage in mortgage fraud? Did Fannie Willis, I hate to say it, was she compromised because of intimacy in terms of being the district attorney there in Fulton County? And Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Now, Congresswoman, you know we know you. We remember when you even ran for the office. But the thing about it is, Congresswoman, you were not properly vetted here in Dallas-Fort Worth. I covered news in this community well over 3 decades, and that was a process of electing officials. We would have them come on talk shows. We would find out who they are and their backgrounds and why they were running. But Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett wouldn't even sit down with her opponent who was running against her for a face-off, a one-on-one face-off election. So, Congresswoman, we're praying for you, and we hope that you and Act Blue haven't done anything to make us all blue. Well, once again, you've been watching the Robert Ashley Show right here on GFN Soul NYC FM and Real Life TV Now. And be sure to hit that subscription bell, notification bell there and everything like that. Subscribe to our channel and also share our content. And once again, each and every night, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, you can tune in for the best in throwback music right here on GFN Soul NYC FM. On behalf of GFN Soul NYC FM and Real Life TV Now, I'm Robert Ashley.